Hello. Oh, it's still doing it. Oh, do you ever have something that is bothering you so much that you want to smash it with a hammer? That's where I'm at right now. I think I might have figured it out. As I was saying, I broke this last time I was on, and we're not going to work on that today. I am going to work on some other stuff. So, what I want to do first is get all this stuff put away. Alright, I'm missing one because that's my backpack that stays here. Welcome back. Sorry about the issues. Hopefully they are fixed now. What color am I missing here? There's gray. I'm missing gray. Gray is my, there it is. My food box. So what we're going to work on today is going to be in the nether. I haven't really planned too much out about what we're going to do, but yeah, my stream deck for some reason it was disconnecting and reconnecting and disconnecting and reconnecting. So I just unplugged it. I will have to figure out what's causing it, but it went away. It was driving me pretty up the wall. So glad that I figured it out. Let's see. Okay, so this is the end of this. So the reason I want to work in the nether is because A, I want to start on getting ready to do the perimeter project. Yeah, it was like every 2 seconds it was like beeping right in my ear. Ugh. Pretty awful. I want to start working on the perimeter project, but also I need quartz for another project. So it just makes sense to do some working in the nether to mark out perimeters and stuff, because I can get quartz while I'm doing. So let's see. I think this goes all the way to the ceiling, which is what I want. So just to give you an idea of what I'm planning to do with the nether, I'm planning on getting rid of all the blocks inside the nether, about 1,200 blocks in all directions, so that I can build some stuff here. It's going to be a pretty massive project. A few things I need to do in the meantime to get that working. Okay, so I want to down like this. So the first thing is just getting to the edge of where we're going to be doing this stuff. And so at this height, all we need to worry about is lava in the sides of the walls and stuff. So I'll just keep an eye out for that. But we are going to be digging tunnels pretty long today. It was a little later than I wanted to get on. We were doing some stuff with moving. And I knew that I would be. That's why I said it'd probably be closer to 8 today. I guess I also need to worry about falling through big holes. So what we're doing is I'm just going to get to the edge of this here, and then I'm going to start working on building a space over here for us to build the World Eater. So we're going to be using some flying machines. I don't know who first called him a World Eater. I heard it from Doc M. I'm sure it was probably somebody on the Zip crowd who first designed it, but I'm not sure. If anybody knows who first designed the flying machines that create perimeters and eat the world, let me know in the comment. But eventually we're going to have machines that just fly back and forth across the nether and delete blocks for us using TNT duplication. But to get prepared for that, I need a space to build them. And I want to go... So if the nether is 8 times, then I need to go... I think I have a calculator around. $1,250. That's what I was thinking. But I was thinking that didn't sound right. That's 1,250 is 10,000 blocks in the overworld. So basically, I am making a perimeter in the nether that is big enough so that if I want to make a portal anywhere to 10,000 blocks out from spawn in either direction, or any of the 4 directions, it will be inside this big, vast, empty area. That's the goal. Ooh, there's a big drop off too. I'm also considering looking into see if there's still any way to delete bedrock en masse, because that might be cool to have it really open up to the sky. But I think the last method that I remember hearing to do that involved using dragon eggs to do it. And so first you had to duplicate dragon eggs. And I don't know if TNT duplication is one thing, because it's just... I see it as a tool for technical Minecraft. Item duplication is another thing. So, no judgment on anybody else how they play. If you are comfortable with that in your world, it's your world. You do what you want. Or even if it's on an SMP, as long as everybody's cool with it. Different SCPs, different rules. Beauty of the game. Talking about the difference between doing TNT duplication, which deletes blocks, and doing item duplication. There are ways you can duplicate items in Minecraft. I don't personally duplicate items, but if people wanted to, I ain't judging. What are you playing tonight, honey? Are you playing Palia? Or Oblivion? As we're going, if I find any quartz, I'm going to be collecting it because quartz is going to be a big part of the first build I make. The first, like, real big build as far as, like, aesthetic build. Obviously, I've done some big builds with different machines. Quartz, not forks. You're doing your Speedstorm dailies, then you're going to murder the ghost in my Oblivion house, and then Palia. Did you figure out how to murder the ghost in your Oblivion house? Last time you were kind of freaked out by him. You need to use enchanted weapon. Interesting. Couldn't you have just called the Ghostbusters? Who are you gonna call? I hope so. That sounds like it would be annoying to have ghosts that you can't murder. How would you? I don't. It doesn't even make sense murdering a ghost. They're already dead. Okay, so this is 1250. So the first thing I want to do right here is just set down a little base of operation. Oops, I did not put the chocolate shells back. Okay, so now I have a place to put my netherrack as I grab it. That's all I really wanted. You said they do kind of look like the library ghost in Ghostbusters, and then you don't make the rules. You do make the rules, honey. You make all the rules. But I'm always in trouble. Yeah. How dare you call me dramatic? Ah. Damn it. That was probably the worst thing I could have done. 827, 24, 114. Oh no. Oh no! That's probably the silliest decision I've ever made, trying to fly out of that. I just flew right into a hornet's nest. Well, well, snake. Yeah. Not so smart of me to do that. I can clip it. I can. My stream deck isn't up, so it's not hard to do it. You know, you can hit clip on your Twitch app, too. Which would help. When you see something you think is fun. I have to look at the Twitch app. See. Let me look. Let me bring it up. So when you are on your phone, at least on the Android, when you click on the screen, it brings up like the thing up at the top where you can like cast the screen or share the screen. There's also a button that says clip. And when you click on that, it gives you a thing where you say what happened and then you hit save and it clips the last 30 seconds by default. It's fine. Even if you don't get it right there, if you put the description of what you were trying to clip, it marks it in the file for me, and then I can go back and find it and edit the clip so that it's like a good clip, and then I can save it. So you don't have to be perfect to edit it. You can edit it if you want. Like if you want to make it your own clip, you can even share it to your own YouTube or whatever. They have it set up for that, which is fine, because it puts my name on it when you do it. But as long as you hit clip when you think something was worth clipping, it helps too. Oh, is it still doing the thing where RestreamBot puts up everything that you say? I gotta fix that. I'm gonna work on that tomorrow night. I think as much as I like Restream, I'm gonna try to figure out a way to do it without using Restream, and just do it directly through Streamlabs. Especially now that they added the ability for, if I stream to YouTube, I can do it in both formats. So I can do a landscape stream and a portrait stream all at once. That's something I'm interested in doing. So, it is something to work on tomorrow. I added it to my to-do list. Might not be tomorrow. It might be Saturday. Basically, I've been doing that recently. All through the week when I'm working on video stuff and everything, I put it on a to-do list, and then Saturday I'd set aside a couple hours in the afternoon to go through my to-do list for streaming and try to fix a few things. I did see that. Is that somebody you don't have yet? Nice. You get 3 shards from him from regulated multiplayer, so that'll help. He is also somebody that you get shards from the vault pass for them down the road if you decide to do another vault pass after you finish the Wreck-It Ralph one that I think you're working on. You get buzzed as one of the racers from that. Oh, so if you finish this, you'll get to 9. Then you'd only need 1 more. That's not terrible at all. I don't remember what number I said that this was at. It was 800 something. Let's pause this. I'm gonna look at my own video to figure out where I died, because I did not record or keep track of it. I have to do that on YouTube. $8:20.25. I did say them and I didn't write them down. I was like, I'll remember. I did not remember. So it's basically right down over there. So 8, 20, 25. Uh-oh. I guess it isn't my stream deck. It's starting to do the beeping thing again. The heck is it? This is where I did the dying. Alright, well, as of right now, it's only doing it every once in a while. But if it starts beeping again, like it was, I'm gonna call it for the night, 'cause I can't handle that. And then I'll strip my whole computer apart piece by piece until I find it. Still doing it. At least it's not going through to you guys, but like, good lord, it drives you crazy. I kind of want to redo my whole streaming PC anyway. I've been wanting to do it for a while. Software's all out of date. Why can't I just be independently wealthy so I can just buy all the things? Somehow I lost my arrow. Probably when I died. It's alright, I'll get more. So we're only 6 days away from day 500. And day 500 is when I am editing together a recap episode. So either at the end of this stream or probably the next one. So hopefully this weekend I'll be working on that and we'll have a new video sometime soon. As far as my other series, I am about halfway through episode 2 in Genesis. And I'm having a lot of fun with that one. That should be out either later this week or early next week. And I'm still always working on trying to do the more and more shorts and things like that. Trying to find more fun ways to expand out. Okay, so that is the protection. And then I need my rocket box. Put my elytra and my extra rockets back. Then I need my toolbox. I have too many tools. Fortune one can go back. The silk touch one can go back. I needed to get a new one out anyway. That's why I died, just so that I could go back and get a new tool. It was all planned. 100%. Just really the easiest way to do it. That's... I love how you're just like, yeah, that sounds legit. You're just used to my bullshit. You're like, yep, whatever. Interesting. He's like, you got Wendy's without me. I'm gonna go make my own fries. Hookers, blackjack. Unbelievable. Betrayal. How dare you choose your firstborn over me? Or your secondborn? You know, what I should probably do is work this out in smaller batches. Because I'm not going to do 2,500 blocks across all at once. I don't even think I could load that much. So my view distance right now is 500 blocks away from me. So literally I couldn't even load the whole thing if I built that big. Okay, so I just want to go 500 blocks in this direction. Or no, 250. I guess I could look into building a tunnel bore for this stuff too. So the tunnel bore is kind of similar to the World Eater, except that instead of it carpet bombing the area and dropping TNT downward to delete the blocks underneath it, it basically you build a device that moves forward one block at a time, and every time it moves, it launches TNT straight forward and blows a hole in the area ahead of it. That way there's constantly space ahead of it, and then you let it go until you just ride on it until you get to the end of the tunnel that you want. That's probably what I'm going to end up doing here. So maybe I will take this all the way to 1250, because what I could do is build the tunnel bore right there where I put down my shulker boxes, and I'd have it go this way, and I'd have a obsidian place at a specific spot so that it stops the machine, and then I can just AFK on the thing and it will create this tunnel for me instead of digging this tunnel out but manually. But so all I have to do is dig this too high tunnel the whole way there, and then place down the obsidian to have it prepped, and then when I put down the tunnel bore, it can dig out the rest of it for me. Probably what I could do. So I don't necessarily need to dig the whole thing out. I need to dig out the perimeter, just to simplify what I'm trying to say. Which is a lot easier than digging the whole thing in. For sure. If we were to dig the whole area out, let's see. 2,500 blocks times 2,500 blocks, that's 6.25 million blocks per level, times 128 blocks tall, is 800 million blocks I would have to dig out by hand if I wanted to make this perimeter manually. Which is why you can see I am making plans to do it using TNT duplication. Because that would take me a long frickin' time. Okay, we can do that for dinner. We have burgers and rolls and fries in there. Unless you guys used all the fries up. You're never going to hear me say no for a request for burgers for dinner. Literally never. So I might do a stake for myself just because I had interesting. Where did I get? Did I go into a bastion or something? Oh no, I explored all the nether biomes. Basalt Delta was the last one. I might do the steaks that I have, just because I need to cook them soon. They've been in the fridge thawed for a couple days. Oh, Nike. This disconnect sound keeps going. I'm gonna just call the stream in a little bit because I can't deal with that. I gotta figure out what the problem is. I'll spend some time tomorrow working on the computer and diagnosing the problems. But I'm gonna keep going at least until I get to 1200 here. I'd like to get at least an hour stream in, and that's another 20 minutes, but it's every few minutes I just hear disconnect, reconnect, disconnect, reconnect, disconnect, reconnect. And then it stops for a few minutes. And I just don't know what it is. It can't be the stream deck because I've disconnected that. It can't be the keyboard or the mouse because I'm actively using them. Actually, I guess it could be... I'm using the keyboard and mouse on my laptop. It could be the keyboard or the mouse on that one, but I'm not using them at the moment. But it's enough to drive for a man crazy. Well, at least this gives you like a grand idea of how big, just how big the area that I'm planning on clearing is. So I just hit 1250. So this whole way I dug, and then I'm gonna go the same distance that way, and then I'm gonna do that same distance that way, 2500 block. So it's gonna be a 2500 by 2500 square block area that I'm going to completely clear out of the nether. There are some things I want to kind of work around, so we'll have to take that into account. And so I need to get a map of the nether and just kind of plan around. I want to find at least one fortress and a bastion that I'm going to leave intact, which means we'll have to divert the plans around them so that we're not blowing those up. But there's a lot of cool things I need to do to make that work. So I'm going to have to build the tunnel bore to get this tunnel built, so we have a launching platform to go. And then we're going to have to do tunnel bores this direction. And so it'll be a big wide tunnel bore that is doing like straight across to the other side. It'll probably be done in big sections. And then once I have an area that's the whole way across the top of the nether, it'll be setting up the flying machines to launch across and drop TNT down every section until we get down to the point where we've deleted everything down to the lava level. And then we'll have to figure out how we're going to handle that. So we'll probably have a sweeper that comes across after the TNT. So it'll be like the TNT drops down a certain number of blocks, and then at that same level underneath it, there'll be a sweeper that comes across and just pushes a row of blocks across at the level of where the TNT just blew up. That way, if there's any lava, it just gets deleted. And that is going to be a lot of stuff to figure out. And I'm going to use other people's help with that, with designs that they've already done, but it's going to be still difficult because I got to tailor it to my specific situation. So this is a big long-term project. I don't expect this to be done anytime soon, but I'm glad to be getting started on it already. And then after that, the big project is that entire area in the overworld that is encompassed by that, so 20,000 blocks square around 0, is going to be something that I map out using Minecraft maps. And I'm going to make a giant map of the entire world around the center of the world spawn. It'll be pretty intense, pretty awesome. And I think it'll be fun. I will say I have not found a lot of quartz up at this level, so it hasn't helped me too much with that part of the project. But we'll find plenty as we work on this project. When I do the World Eater part, you can set it up so like it just goes back and forth and then it lowers itself down automatically. And you know, then you just set yourself up in a position where you are moved along with the machine, like you ride on it, and then you clear out really large sections while you're AFK. I am probably going to do it more like I run it across and I follow along behind it in a shorter section. That way I can see if there's any blocks that like are good as far as like stuff I want to collect. I'll just pause the machine, and then I'll hop out and I'll harvest a bunch of stuff, throw it into a shulker box, and then I'll get back on and ride it again. So it's going to be a combination of the two. Some areas I'll just AFK, because there won't be much interest, but the big project, like I said, probably take a year, maybe more. And that's what I like. I like having a huge thing to do. Uh-oh. The pick's almost gone. I hope I have enough to make it back to the middle to grab a new one without breaking it. Cool. But you can see just how long this is. In fact, let me go into free cam. So, ooh, so weird seeing my new skin from the inside. Oh, I love it. Have you guys seen my new skin up close? I still need to do some work on it. His mouth isn't quite right. But so, tunnel goes all the way this way. 1,250 blocks. And then it's gonna go 1,250 more blocks that way. This is gonna be a big thing when it's done. Alright, we're back at our shulker boxes. Let's load these up a little bit. I'm still, every few minutes, just beeping in my ear like crazy, and I cannot find the source of it. I'm glad at least it's not playing on the stream, because then I definitely would have had to stop right away, but I'm not going to be able to keep going, because it's gonna drive me batty. So sorry that it's only an hour-long stream tonight. Not even quite. And I was hoping to do more, but Friday night I'll definitely be on at 7 o'clock. And we'll go from there. So, thank you for watching. Leave me a comment if you have anything to say about this crazy project that I'm starting on. And we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.